Eliab was angry and dismissive of David when David asked him about Goliath. His tirade against David ended with a smug statement, "You can't even take care of sheep," suggesting that there was considerable tension in Jesse's household. David perhaps was not well liked by his brothers. As the shepherd of the family's flock, he had had the misfortune of losing some of the sheep. The culture in that part of the world does not respond to carelessness with kindness. Culprits are usually dealt harsh punishment and a reprimand, which generally ends with a warning not to return home should you lose another sheep. That was David's faith. Usually, when one finds oneself in a situation like the one described, there are two choices to make: either to defy or to humble oneself, accept one's faith, and commit to a selfless dedication to the task assigned, regardless of the cost to one's life. David decided to choose the latter. His response was priceless. He went out determined to die for his father's flock, armed with a sling and a shepherd's staff. With a staff, he guided and rescued the flock, and slew predators with a sling. In every care and rescue he undertook, he learned about God's love in real time. And with every kill he made, he honed his skills at slinging stone. He went on to gain dexterity in slinging rocks, the likes of which rivaled slingers of an army platoon. As a musician, he was inspired by the lessons of love learned from caring for the flock, which inspired him to write the song, "The Lord is my shepherd," a favorite of many today. Lonely moments as a shepherd created space for David to meditate on God, shaping his perception of God and his relationship with humanity. For him, the relationship with God had become a personal one. It is not surprising then that he grew indignant towards the Philistines about their attitude towards God and disgusted that his people would tolerate it. He had to take action. So he sought the king's permission. And when the king agreed to his request and offered him his armor, he graciously tried it on. Not because he needed armor, but because he refused to disrespect the king. All along, he knew what his strategy was going to be. After all, he had fought a similar opponent in the form of a predator, a bear, and vanquished it. Immobilize the opponent with a couple of stones, then club it to death. So he got down, gathered some rocks, and went down into the valley. Down in the valley, he noticed something odd about Goliath. His armor-bearer led him by the arm. And again, Goliath was making inaccurate pronouncements about David, such as that David was holding sticks. In reality, however, that was not the case. There must be something wrong with Goliath's eyes. The giant has a blurry vision, or perhaps he was partially blind, a condition brought on by his abnormal growth in height, an advantage for David. David deployed his strategy and emerged victorious. It is not hard to see God's hand in David's victory. Though the triumph culminated on the battlefield, the victory began in David's heart with a decision to die to self. It was an achievement wrapped in lessons learned from unconditional love. The willingness to give up one's life for another is a secret to the freedom of the soul. Truth is unique. Deny it and you will assert it.